for tuning in to our new video series, A Holiday at Home with Huguenot Street. My name is Amber Neilson, and I'm the Arts and Interpretation Manager at HHS. In honor of Giving Tuesday, we're kicking off this series as a thank you for your generous support of Huguenot Street during this difficult year. Since we are unable to invite you to celebrate the holiday season this year with a special tour through our historic buildings, we're bringing Huguenot Street home to you. This video series will highlight the holiday and seasonal traditions of the Huguenot and Dutch colonists of early New Paltz and the greater Hudson Valley region. Later in the series, we'll also look at the evolution of Christmas traditions in this community from the colonial period to the turn of the 20th century. Today's program will focus on the Huguenots, their religious beliefs, and their response to the growing popularity of Christmas in the 18th century. Perhaps a good place to start would be, who were the Huguenots? The Huguenots were a religious group of French-speaking Protestants between the 16th and 18th centuries who suffered severe persecution at the hands of the Catholic majority in France. This persecution led to the Huguenot diaspora, when many thousands of Huguenots emigrated to different parts of the world, including, of course, the Hudson Valley. The Huguenots followed the teachings of John Calvin, a leading figure of the Protestant Reformation, and therefore became known as Calvinists or Reformers. Calvin's religious teachings emphasized the belief in an individual's right to interpret the scriptures for themselves without the involvement of a church hierarchy. Calvinists also believed in predestination, or the belief that God predetermined some people to be saved and others to eternal damnation. Huguenots generally believed that they were among the elect, or those who God chose to save. They rejected the Roman Catholic doctrines of purgatory, the veneration of saints, the authority and infallibility of the Pope, and paying for indulgences, since these phenomena were not grounded in Scripture. Additionally, the Huguenots did not honor any holiday that wasn't named in Scripture, which, unfortunately, included Christmas. Despite many people today seeing Christmas as an important cultural and religious holiday, particularly among Christian denominations, the celebration of Christmas as we know it is a relatively new tradition. The origins of Christmas are rooted in pagan or polytheistic cultures that rejoiced during the time of the winter solstice when the darkest days were behind them and they could look forward to longer days with more sunlight. The images you see specifically depict the ancient Roman festival, Saturnalia. As the meaning of winter solstice celebrations evolved and, eventually, Christianity spread across Europe, Catholics and other Christian groups adopted their own versions of this winter celebration in the attempt to convert the pagans to Christianity. However, it took some time before December 25th would be widely honored as the day to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Reformed Christians, like the Huguenots and the Puritans, began to see Christmas as a frivolous, Catholic, idol-worshipping holiday that corrupted society. To give you an example of how seriously the Huguenots took this negative stance on Christmas, there is a popular oral history about a time in the 1750s when the New Paltz Church Consistory had a debate over whether or not to hold church one Sunday in December, because that particular Sunday happened to fall on Christmas Day. Apparently, they feared that having a church service would be mistaken by the surrounding community as a celebration of the holiday. However, it seemed that they held the service anyway, because their devotion to God was what mattered most. Although they lacked Christmas cheer, the Huguenots of New Paltz spent their winters enjoying each other's company around the hearth, feasting, drinking, and visiting relatives and friends, since farmers and millers had more free time in the colder months. Despite being the Huguenots' friends and neighbors, however, the Dutch settlers of the Hudson Valley had a very different view of the holiday season. The Dutch brought over celebratory customs from the Netherlands, including the feast of St. Nicholas on December 6th. Tune in next week to learn about the history of St. Nicholas Day and the tasty Dutch delicacies that accompany these holiday celebrations. Thank you so much, and see you next week.